Everybody, it's Melissa, and today I'm going to be giving you my honest opinion on one of the newest ROJA fragrances called Manhattan. Now, ROJA Parfums did send this fragrance over, but all thoughts and opinions are my own. Now, what does this fragrance smell like? It smells very holiday-esque, okay? It's very festive, reminds me of Christmas time. To me, I get three main things here. I get tobacco, vanilla, and cinnamon. Now, there's other notes here. I think there is a lot of florals like jasmine, maybe some violet, but honestly, I don't pick up on every single note that's listed. I like to just share with you guys what is the most noticeable when you're actually wearing it. So to me, if you're a fan of Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille, then this is gonna be an easy love for you. Now, out of the two ROJA fragrances that I had, the ability to try this past week, I would say this is my favorite, easily over Isola Blue. Now, that's more of a fresh and clean fragrance, and I thought I would like that better because, it's something that it's more of that DNA I prefer, but I didn't end up really liking it. It was actually Oligarch, just renamed for certain reasons, but Manhattan, I mess with, all right? Y'all know that I love Tobacco Vanille. Is it my favorite fragrance of all time? It's not, and I'm referring to Tobacco Vanille, but even with this, it's not my favorite scent, just because I don't typically wear sweet fragrances. However, if I was somebody that lived in cold weather year round, this would be a nice staple fragrance to have in the collection because performance here is stellar. All right, I still smell this on my skin past 8 hours, past 9 hours, and I'm pretty sure if I did more sprays of it, I would be saying in this video right now that it goes past 12 hours. So on a more conservative note, it will last over 8 hours, and if you spray it on clothes, it's definitely going to go longer. And this is an EDP concentration, by the way, in case I was a bit too fast with the camera right there. Now, I had a subscriber ask me if this is worth it. They're like, well, is it worth $300? Should I get it? And I can't tell you what's going to be worth it to you, all right? Because to me, like I said, it's hot 360 days out of the 365 of the year that we get here. So is this worth it to me even though I like the smell? No, it's not, because I just would not get the use out of it, I even love, how much I love Carlisle, right? That thing has just been sitting in my collection because there's no time for me to use it, which is why it was in my video where I said that I wouldn't get second bottles of these. And that's just more from a logical standpoint. But again, if you live somewhere cold, I think that this would be fantastic, especially if you love the Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille fragrance that I mentioned previously. Now, honestly, this fragrance just gives me very cuddly, very warm sort of vibes. I don't find it to be very sexy personally, but I know that this is a fragrance that lots of people will find sexy. And when I say lots of people, no, I'm not referring to the fragrance community, even though I think they would appreciate the scent. I'm talking about the general public, because I remember when I would talk about Tobacco Vanille, people went nuts over that. They're like, oh yeah, that thing makes me weak in the knees. I find it super sexy. And this, by the way, a very unisex fragrance. And I am positive that this would garner that same type of attention if people were to smell this on you, or if you were to smell it maybe on somebody else, if you like this sort of DNA. So to me, this is very smooth, very high quality, and it's just something that makes people want to snuggle into your neck. When you smell it, it just kind of relaxes you a little bit. You know how it is when you go to somebody's house for Christmas, right? And you smell gingerbread cookies, or you smell hot chocolate, or you smell like a pie in the oven, right? There's certain smells that when you catch a whiff of them, you're like, oh wow, like that's super nice, and it just kind of relaxes you and it makes you happy. That's the line that this fragrance goes. I don't think it's like a sexy fragrance, but maybe like sexy cozy, sexy comfy, that's more of the line I would give it into. But overall, I do give this fragrance a thumbs up. I gotta be honest with you, I wasn't expecting to really like this, just because lately when I've been trying a lot of niche fragrances, a lot of them just don't hit that mark. And I could see how niche fragrance lovers would enjoy, particular bold scents. But me personally, like when I try these scents and I give you guys my honest opinion, I'm mainly coming from the standpoint of being somebody that would wear these fragrances. Not so much, oh, I appreciate the artistry and then it's going to collect dust in my closet or in my cabinet. I've showed videos where I tell you which fragrances have the biggest dents because I am here to tell you what smells good so that, you know, I would wear them. And this is a fragrance that I would wear. And honestly, I know the name of it is Manhattan. And maybe it's because I've been to Manhattan these past couple months that this definitely kind of captures that nighttime sort of vibe. You know, when you're walking around, the city's lit up, it's cold, you're bundled up, you're with your significant other, and you just smell good, and it's just strong enough to have a nice sort of projection. Not a crazy scent trail, because I mean, I only tested it with a small amount of sprays. I'm sure if you spray maybe 3 of these on your back, then yeah, you will have a nice scent trail. But this is gonna do really well in winter, in fall, or just in nighttime, generally speaking. All right, so I don't consider this to be a clubbing fragrance. I know typically when we talk about sweet scents that they fit in that clubbing category. And sure, you can wear this to the club and you can wear it to the bar. But honestly, I see this more of like as an upscale lounge sort of scent. You know, this is maybe, instead of just like your regular bar, maybe like a nice rooftop bar. You know, just something slightly elevated, just slightly more elegant than your typical club, your typical bar that you go to, because this fragrance does exude some sort of elegance. Now, to me, I feel like this would be really nice if you paired it with like a turtleneck, like a black turtleneck or something. If you're wearing a nice dress with this scent, you have a trench coat on, something along those lines, you know? Even though you can wear this in a t-shirt if you wanted to, I just feel like it would shine to its truest potential if you kind of just glam it up a little bit with whatever you're wearing. Or, you know, if you're going to maybe like a nice restaurant, this would be a nice scent to throw on, or like a nice dessert place for a date, whatever the case may be. All right, but yeah, I don't really find this to be, it doesn't scream casual wear to me. It doesn't scream daily wear. It just screams, okay, we're going somewhere tonight. Oh, it's gonna be somewhere a little bit fancy. Let me throw on my fancy fragrance, you know? So I know that a lot of the times the brand name is what gets a lot of people. And I have to tell you that even if this wasn't a ROJA fragrance, I would be telling y'all the same thing. I think it, like, the quality of the fragrance is there. You know, I'm not like, oh, it's ROJA, therefore it's high end, it's high class. Like, sometimes there's ROJA fragrances that I don't like, that I just don't rock with, that a lot of people here on the internet mess with, you know? But to me, I think that this is a really, really nice, sweet fragrance. So going back to the question of, is it worth $300? I'm just gonna ask you that. If you're wearing a lot of sweet scents, then I think, and you're looking to add something into that rotation, then yes, I think it would be worth it. If you're a niche fragrance lover, if you're somebody that's in the designer realm right now, then no, this is not gonna be worth it to you because it's gonna be a bit too pricey, all right? So whatever your budget is, I am not gonna dictate whether it's worth it to you or not. That's just your own decision. Now, like I mentioned in a previous video, this is a unisex scent. I think I mentioned it here as well. I don't see it leaning more feminine, more masculine. You know what? Let me actually test myself on this to see if I had to pick, because there are people that are like, I'm tired of you saying unisex. Tell me if it's feminine, masculine. If I had to pick, I would say Manhattan goes more feminine. But the only reason for that is because I smell more sweet scents on women. But that doesn't mean that the fragrance itself is more feminine. Does that make sense? You know, like there are guys that like Baccarat Rouge, like a lot of guys that like sweet scents like that and jazz club. So it's hard for me to just say it's more feminine because more women gravitate to sweet scents. It's just, I don't want to do that, you know? So for me, I really feel like anybody, whatever gender you are, can easily be able to pull off a fragrance like Manhattan. But age-wise, this is not a teenager fragrance. I think that this is 25 up easily. I don't see this as something that a high school student would wear. I don't see it as something a college student would wear. It's just a little bit more of a grown scent, in my opinion. But anyways, let me know what you think of this fragrance, if you've given it a shot or not. And I'll put a discount link in the comment section below. That is an affiliate link, by the way, in case you guys want to support the channel. I'm not sure if they hold Manhattan right now. But yeah, let me know what you think of this scent, if you've tried it, if you're interested in trying it, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.